Hello.
Oh,
Hello,
hello?
Vincent. Yes,
Hi.
hello. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. I think I got a new job. I didn't like the job I was at.
Oh, what didn't you like about your old job?
Oh God, it was just dead end and no money and bad work environment and bad management and
Mm, mm. Well, congratulations on your new job. What is it this time? Or maybe you don't
it's
want to tell us.
it's supervising a kitchen,
Well, if you like food,
which I don't.
you don't. You're always eating.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, I like to eat food. I don't know if I'm really gonna be. We'll say I have to go in Monday for training.
Are you some sort of sous chef?
No, no, I'm a supervisor.
Right, right. That should be interesting.
Yeah, hold on. Okay, so just so at the beginning of the show, as usual, guys, I'm on partial shadow ban. Sometimes it's hard to find my videos. Sometimes you can find them. Sometimes you can't. Seems like you can never find the first three that I ever made. So if you go to vincentbrunoshadowban.blogspot.com, it's in the description and it's at the bottom of the screen. You'll be able to find all of my uh videos. Are you sharing the link, Claire, to the video?
I'm trying to find it, and then I
Okay,
will share it.
okay, I'm gonna get it ready in a second. So today we're gonna be talking about this fucking bitch named Angela David. Have you been seeing me fighting with her?
I know I'm not much on Facebook. It seems to be pretty dead at the moment, and so my activities are concentrated on YouTube recently and Twitter.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been fighting with this bitch named Angela David, and we're gonna talk about her in a second. But before we do that, let me just um okay, I found do you need the what's it
I've
called?
got it. I'm onto it now. Yeah,
Okay, good. Okay, I'm about to just get this ready.
I just liked it, and now I'm going to share it.
Hold on, my what's wrong with my computer?
Why are you bigging up these non-entities, though?
It's not that the non-ent it's look, I told you. It's okay. We already discussed this. Eleanor Roosevelt said small minds talk about people, right? So we're big minds, so we're talking about ideas. Most people, okay, if we want to get more attention, then we need to um talk about people, and then people will listen to us. So it's just it's a strategy.
Okay, I I am getting myself talked about, and I keep trying to encourage you to join me, and you don't. Is it because it's kind of my idea but not yours, and you just
Join
want to
you
do your own
where?
thing?
Oh
You
no,
know,
I
Jacob,
told. Yeah, but I couldn't join those screens. When I can join, I do come on.
can you post comments on people's channels, videos, or not?
Uh, I can try.
Yeah, I mean, I
Well,
suppose I think.
I don't look. I don't generally listen to things that you're on unless it's someone like when you have the rabbis on, or like if you have like someone maybe like like if you had an imam on or something like that, I would listen to that. But when you interview, I told you I don't listen to these people. You send me these videos of these. I tune in for 5 seconds and I can't go any further. Like the one who wears the patch on his eye, and you know the other ones, and this one and that one, and it's very
I
hard
know.
for me to
These are the people that you think are stupid and hopeless and whatever. And sometimes I wonder if they, I'm wrong to spend, my time with them. But I'm trying to explain to you why I do, and I'm not doing it just because I, find it amusing to upset them. I'm saying that these people are satellite channels to a bigger one, which is Paul Vanderklay. I don't know if you've heard of him or know who he
Mhm.
is.
You've told me, yes.
Can you remember who he is and why I'm interested in him?
Yes, you've told me, and yes, that they all kind of he's like the grandfather.
Okay. Yes, he is their father figure, and he's a pastor and a Calvinist pastor, and he's organizing a conference in Chino, in California, in May. And to this conference will be invited an Orthodox Christian, Jonathan Pageau. Have you heard of him?
No.
Anyway, he regularly plays second fiddle to Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
And and Paul Van der Clay has posted that he has shaken hands with Jordan Peterson often, um, and Jonathan Pageau has met him. He's an Orthodox Christian. So they're trying to. Well, I'm just saying that if there's a pope of social conservatism, I guess it would be Jordan Peterson. Or can you think of anyone else?
Well, I mean, but Jordan Peterson's reputation is really plummeting.
Yeah, but is there anyone else? His reputation may be plummeting, but is there anyone else? I don't think there is, but if there is, please tell me his name so I can, well, get on to him. I mean, we're trying to sell our social, our solutions to restore social conservatism. So, the only way to get the best attention is to, well, go to the top man.
Okay, well, yes. I mean, yeah, the thing is that maybe, well, okay, but our strategies are, see, this is the thing, Claire. I mean, look, you want to get big in the media tomorrow, okay? And so your strategy is to go to these people who are very annoying and very stupid, but who have some clout, and go on their channel and fight with them. And then maybe you'll be able to go on someone else's channel, and then maybe you'll get on Paul Vanderklay, and then maybe you'll get on Jordan
I've been on
Peterson.
Paul Vanderklay
Okay. And then
with
you'll
John
be
Vance.
on Jordan Peterson. That's your
That's the
plan.
idea, yes.
Yes. Okay, I have a much more look, this plan is slower, and uh, this plan goes more slowly. So if right now I'm not, well, I did get on his channel. Maybe you're right, Claire. I don't know. I don't
Of
know.
course
But
I'm right, unless you can think of anything better. And it's not like I'm not including you. I am including you. I'm saying please come along, and you're just not interested.
no,
But
I
but I
am interested. I am interested, but I just don't have I'm not available at the times that you post. But maybe now I will be, because now I'm going to be going into work at 4. So now I will be available.
in the morning.
Mm-mm, in the afternoon.
Right. Okay. Okay, well good. But you don't it okay, it obviously helps if it's live and you can post in the chat and maybe even get on. But I'm saying it's not that important because there are other ways you can post comments after the stream is complete and say your thing then. But I mean, the important thing really is to get the message across, and kind of, I mean, obviously, it helps me not to look, not to seem this lone voice that nobody ever listens to. That okay, it's good that people come and stream with me, and I stream with people, and then I'm deemed to have a few associates, and I guess this is the way to go, because individuals, we really can't get that far, can we? Because
No, well, I mean, no, I mean, I know that, I, unlike you, I have my blogs and stuff like that, and I know that's not going to get as much traction as if I'm talking to Jordan Peterson. um, Maybe my expectations are a little bit lower than yours. Though, I mean, the only thing that, yeah, I mean, I went up on, if I have the time, I'll go on. If I'm available at the time, yes. Like now, if I have this new job and I start at 4 and, you tend to send me things when I'm at work, then, I can go and I'll try it. And yeah, I'll go on and I'll talk about it. And, but no, I do. Yeah, that's not fair. I've been on G Block with you. We were together on what's his name with Marshall Lore and Norvin.
yeah, but it's not like a one-off is not going to be enough. Basically, all these things have to be said and done so many times before you establish a presence, before people think, oh yeah, it's St. Vincent Bruno. He says this and he does that. Just once is not good enough, and people forget, and therefore you have to go for groups who will at least all think you're wonderful or complain about you with each other, and that's how you get your message through, isn't it? I mean, and then they'll go report to Paul van der Clay, who may report to Jordan Peterson, and something like that.
All right. Well, now
It
let's see
does
what
make
happens.
sense, doesn't it? I mean,
Okay. Well, I go in for my training on Monday, and
okay. Well, I mean, obviously, I mean, all I can do is to mention, you share these videos and links with you, and you can either watch it or not watch it. But
well, I
okay,
probably won't watch the videos, but I will join the streams. Yes.
okay,
Yes.
but there's just one I kind of want you to watch, because I think it's groundbreaking.
Okay, well, okay, here. I have a good idea that I decided, so on Monday, which was tomorrow, we were supposed to start Jehovah's Witnesses because we were going to do Daughters of Freemasonry, Jehovah's Witness, Christian Science, Mormon, Seventh-day Adventist. But however, I've decided to wait on that and to get to wait because I want to read Kabbalah and Freemasonry by Arthur Edward Waite, because what I want to do first is I want to see if we can get any knowledge about mystical Kabbalah Freemasonry. And then when we read Jehovah's Witness, Christian Science, Mormon, Seventh-day Adventist, we see if we can correlate anything.
There's nothing
And
to correlate, and frankly, Vincent, I'm not interested in doing this anymore. But
in,
nobody listens, and if they come, it's only to because they wait for the reading to finish and for us to talk. And you are inflicting a lot on people. You are asking them to put up with a lot.
what am I asking them to put up with, the reading?
The reading, they don't care. They're not going to be influenced by anything you read. You're just reading it because you can't read it on your own, so you read it, and yeah, um,
So you don't like reading the books.
I don't really see what they're not influential. These books, yes, it's a writer who got published and he said this and he said that, but I mean, what has it done? I mean, has it changed anybody's views about anything? Has it changed yours or mine?
Yes, it changed mine. I mean, yeah, I became a Judaized Gentile. Yes, it did. I mean, I find them very pivotal, but if you don't like them, then You don't have to come on anymore, but I mean, I do want to keep doing it. I'll do it by myself, but if you don't like
And
it,
then
then
you
don't.
delete your stream. So,
I don't
when
delete my streams. I don't delete my streams.
well, I've noticed that for some that you do.
No, I don't delete any of my streams.
Well, I'm sure that there were streams that you have deleted, but
Well,
you know,
yes, I mean there might have been one of two, but generally I do not delete my streams.
yeah, I agree. I'm just saying you delete the ones where you just read and then it's over and then you delete it.
No, I don't delete it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe when you sort of watch videos of other people, that guy I can't stand him, and then you delete it.
I had, yes, okay, yeah, I did that because it was the whole thing was messed up and it was pointless to keep it up.
That's
But
right.
Claire,
That's right.
I know, but there was a different reason to that. I didn't not take it down because look, if I do a reading, there's nothing wrong with what I've read. I don't take it down.
Okay. Okay. I'm my mistake. I'm talking about the streams that you do delete, and I'm
Yeah, well,
saying,
that's
yes,
because they were off and I didn't like them
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
because they're not a credit to you, and it was, as you said, messed up. It didn't really say anything.
no,
Nobody,
no, 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 that's not it. That's not what happened with the Billy Crone stream. It kept pausing and breaking, and then I couldn't get it working again, and then I said, "Fuck it." I said, I have to do it another way. So, but Claire, I didn't know. I mean, you did bring the no, 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 Claire. You already brought this up before that you didn't want to come on anymore, and I said, "Okay," and then and then you said you wanted to come back on, so I said, "Okay." And now you're saying you don't want to come back on anymore. And like, I mean, but we
I'm
already
telling
we
you, I have a problem with the readings.
okay, but we don't
And
read the
I'm just
whole.
sort of waiting for you to finish so I can talk to you. So why can't we just talk and then you do your own reading? I have a lot to say to you.
Well, okay, then you can come. Okay, okay. If
I mean,
I
maybe you want to complain about Angela David and then I can talk about what I want to talk about.
well,
Then you can
yeah.
be you Gentiles.
Okay, okay. So, yeah, Angela David, is this Hindutva Hamitic bitch on Facebook. So I started posting stuff against Hinduism because I left Hinduism because Hinduism is not liberal, Hinduism is not scientific, Hinduism is not gay friendly, Hinduism is not good to women, Hinduism is not tolerant or open minded or sanitary or sane or any of this. So I've been exposing their bullshit like cow fucking and children fucking and rape and all this stuff. So she comes and gets involved and she starts getting homophobic, for no reason. So she thinks that because I'm after her religion, there's no difference between going after a religion and a sexuality. And she thinks my sexuality is a belief system. Um, and that because I'm gay, I choose to be gay. If there's child molestation and homosexuality, then I should distance myself from homosexuality the way I'm asking her to distance herself from Hinduism. One is doctrinal. Okay, in Hinduism, these are doctrines. These are actual, like, real life temples that are set up, religious temples with priesthoods that rape children.
Okay.
And
Well, nobody has. Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
okay, well, we can watch a documentary one time. Oh, I probably can't show it on here. It's a Vice documentary. Prostitutes of God. And
But I mean, okay, we know why Indians are backward, don't we? Because of
well,
their
no, but
idolatry.
what I'm saying that that she's part of a religion that actually had a doctrine and a practice that still exists like that, and she's trying to equate that to me being gay. Okay, she's trying to say, well, you should leave homosexuality because some gay people rape. If you're asking me to distance myself from Hinduism because there's like doctrines and temples of child rape. Big difference. She's that dumb. She's that much of a Hamitic beast who is, yes, as you've said, retarded from Hindutva ideology. It's retarded her, you know.
She's got an English name. Is she actually
No,
Asian?
she's Indian. I don't know why her name is an English name.
Well, I did share my your video, and then I thought I'm probably going to get some Facebook penalty for because of the title of your video. I had to change the
Okay.
Twitter title. So I mean, I don't know how constructive it is to attack individuals who are not important and who are basically saying that Hinduism is better than being gay. That's what she's saying, isn't she? She's saying, well, maybe she's saying Hinduism is better than liberalism because at least Hindus don't approve of being gay.
Well, she's saying that it's not okay to be gay and that if I'm going to attack her religion, she's just going to attack my sexuality and that's it. But she's being stupid.
But it's true that your religion is liberalism, and liberalism say it's okay to be gay.
But how do we know she's not a liberal? I mean, she's probably a demi-liberal. She's probably like, she has liberal values and things like that, but she might be homophobic, but everyone in the West, if they've emigrated here and they're living here and they're working here, they're somehow demi-liberals because she's Indian, so she's not going to want, racialism in America. She doesn't like she's very anti-colonialism. She's going to be anti the history of the West, and she's probably more likely to be like into like minority rights and things like that. So she's probably a demi-liberal.
Okay, but there are lots of people who believe in silly things and they're not that important because, well, I mean, their belief system is full of contradictions. So if you want to attack ideas, go for the big ones, which are, the principles of religious groups.
Which is what I'm going after the principles of Hinduism.
Yeah, but Hinduism is okay. I just think it's wait. They have no principles. Basically, they have no
I know,
agreement,
but they've but
and
they
it's a waste of time
they have
attacking
they
them.
know they have growing power and they have growing influence, especially in the alt-right where there's so much alliance going on between the two now. I
Okay,
mean,
well, we'll attack idolatry and show it for what it is,
well,
which
I
is what I'm
I
doing.
do, but I do a
Consistently.
lot but I do a lot more than that. I want to show that it's a disgusting religion full of hate and shit and cow shit eating.
But why not attack the most powerful one?
Oh, excuse me. First of all, everyone always wants to sit and accuse me of and get angry with me because all I do is talk about Noahide. And now I have a different topic and everyone wants me to stop. Like, how do I please people?
Okay, you were saying, what is it? What was it going from Eleanor Roosevelt? Little people talk about other people,
Yes.
and then, okay, so don't you
But
think
I'm
you're
talking about an
quoting this man
ideology.
and talking about this overweight Indian lady?
Yes.
And
Uh-huh.
she's gonna get you. She's gonna, say you're harassing her or whatever. and then you're going to
Well, that
leave
didn't work
Facebook.
with cherry menthol.
Well, I'm under some sort of restriction just for sharing your video, so
Well, I
I'm
didn't get any restrictions.
well. You kind of brought us together, and I mean, what's the point of attacking people with stupid names like Cherry Menthol?
Okay, Claire, I guess you're like just obviously no longer interested in streaming with me, and that's fine. I mean, I
No,
don't really.
I want to say a few things. So, and obviously, you and I do disagree on strategy. You're just going to get in trouble for attacking, you know, minorities, and you're going to get into trouble. And I'm just warning you, and this will interfere with your activities. But maybe that's kind of what you want. I don't know.
Well, we'll see, but look, I do get somewhere, and I'm trying to get somewhere, or I'm not trying to get somewhere as quickly as you are, and I also have different area like I do have a vested interest in exposing Hinduism, and you just don't, and it's not irrelevant. Like you're acting like you're just not interested in it, but it's not irrelevant. I mean, the
It
Hindu
is
angle.
relevant, but I'm saying if you get Christianity to fall, then Hinduism will fall with it. So, and Christianity is closer to home, and people will talk about that and take an
Yeah,
interest
but
in. But
yeah, but
you
everyone
want to be
let the
big fish.
Noahides take care of Christianity.
The,
I'm tired of Christianity. I like Islam. Okay, do I spend time on Islam? Yes. Now everyone's like, well, I don't hear you criticizing Islam all day. Why are you only criticizing us? Are you pro-Muslim? Like, okay, I criticized Islam for 10 fucking years of my life. I'm tired of criticizing Islam. The other problem is there's a million people criticizing Islam all over the earth. Every single person and their mother is criticizing Islam. We don't need any more Islamic critics. We don't need any more Christian critics. We need Hindu critics. We need Noahide
okay,
critics.
okay. I'm saying that there is a way of rising above these Jews, these Christians, and these Muslims, and I would like to explain it to you.
Okay, well, go ahead.
So I'm saying, I don't know if you're aware that I'm talking about hidden idolatry. Okay, yes, you
Yes.
are because we've argued about that before.
Yes,
So so
we've argued about it. Yes.
so
Well,
I'm
because
basically
hidden
saying,
idolatry is not a punishable offense.
I know, it isn't a punishable offense, but it does stop you from doing the right thing, and this is exactly my point. So, because Jews fear Christians, they don't tell Christians that they are guilty of idolatry. Because Jews hate Muslims, they don't want to say that the best religion for Gentiles is Islam. That is the hidden idolatry that Jews suffer, that Jews are guilty of. And for Christians, well, I mean, they're openly idolatrous, even if they don't bow before idols. Trinitarians are obviously idolatrous because they worship a man as the co-equal of God. So, but Muslims also fear them because they don't obey chapter 18, verse 4 of the Quran, which says, admonish those who claim that God has begotten a son. So they don't do that because their conceptual idol is their fear of offending Christians. And they come up with all sorts of shit excuses, like Carol, who says, "Oh, but God says speak to them nicely." And I said to her, "Look, there's no way of admonishing anyone nicely." And she's still, well, making a pathetic excuses. But the thing is, I know that she comes from a Catholic background, and I guess she has, quite a few relations who are Catholics, and she doesn't want to offend them. Not that it matters as far as she's concerned, because nobody even knows her real name anyway. But she can't do it, and she's coming up with all these, crap excuses not to do it. And I'm saying she's guilty of hidden idolatry. So I'm saying,
Well, you just fix that. Okay, Noahide already kind of fixes that in that okay, so you would make it that um you would just look, uh, how do I put this? You would make it so that it is a crime to not set up a one party state. So
No,
that has,
no, it's impossible. You know,
yes,
people
that
in
look, yes, that's it's like, okay, you make it under Noahide, you make it a crime not to admonish a Jew for not being a light unto the nations. Okay, like you make it a crime for it for it not to be done. It becomes a command to like keep the system in place. So you just, if you want the laws of secular Quranism, you just have to make it a law in secular Quranism that it is illegal to not set up a one party state.
okay, I'm that's unrealistic. I don't have much power or any at all. All I can do
Well, then
is
she's not a secular
argue with
Quranist. So then
somebody like
put
Carol,
her
and she's
outside.
just going to not do it, right?
Just
And
put her
come up with
outside.
crap excuses
Put
because
her out. Put her
what?
outside. Put her outside secular Quranism. Just say she's not a secular Quranist.
No, there's no point doing that because what would be the point of that? So I can accuse her of hidden idolatry, and she will be guilty as charged. Okay, it's as easy as that, and I can say all these Muslims who do what Carol is doing, they're guilty of hidden idolatry, guilty of, and all these Jews, all these Christians, all these Muslims are guilty of hidden idolatry, and
Well, you wouldn't have to call it hidden idolatry if you just said, if you want to be a secular Quranist, you have to set up a one party state. And if they're breaking it, just make it just okay. You don't have to just say, if you want to be a real secular Quranist, that would be, breaking the law. And then it's no longer hidden idolatry, it's
nobody
real
cares about.
idolatry.
Well, nobody cares about being a real secular Quranist because it's not some big deal special club that people are wanting to join. They don't know
So now
about it.
you're not even setting down rules.
I'm telling you, I want to be. I want to make a point, and the point I'm making, as far as people like Carol are concerned, is because they're guilty of hidden idolatry. So
You
I'm
know
saying,
what? Okay, Claire, you know what? Huh, I wouldn't normally talk to you like this, but you were very kind of like dismissive and a little bit rude of me. But it sounds like, number one, you're a media whore, and number two, it sounds like you're an ideological whore because you're just like engineering this all the right way for like maximum attention, but
yes.
but as little integrity as possible. I mean, it's like low in integrity, high on attention, and it's kind of
What's wrong
gross,
with that?
Claire.
What's wrong with that? Well, okay, well,
Low in that's
what's
like a
integrity?
whore. What's wrong with that? Oh,
What's wrong with that?
I,
As long as it works. What's the problem with that?
well, okay, how is it going to stay in place if it doesn't really have hard principles? Okay, look, if
What
if you
principles have I
look, let me tell you
broken?
something. If you want anything near what you do is you write down the rules and then you let other people make reform movements and say things like, well, we're going to do everything except this. We're going to do everything except that. And then like let it spread that way instead of like not even laying down any principles really.
What would be
you
the
know
point? I can't enforce them. I can't enforce these
yeah,
principles.
but then if a one party state is not a law of secular Quranism, then it's not even going to translate that far. I mean,
Well, why do
from
you
one
think I'm
person.
fighting with Carol about it?
I
She's
know,
a
but look,
secular
but people,
Quranist.
look, you haven't even made it a rule. So Carol has already mutated it. And what about the people who learn from Carol and they're going to be like, oh, okay, well, I like Carol's ideas, but I don't like this of it. And then they change it even more. It's just going to turn into this mutation everywhere with none
Yes,
of the
yes,
same.
yes. I knew that would happen. And this is what I anticipated because basically, I actually explained it to you when I asked you to become a secular Quranist, and you said, "Oh, but people are just going to come and take the idea from me." But I said they won't take it away the fact that you're the first secular Quranist, who shows his face and uses his real name, and Carol. Well, she says she's a secular Quranist, but I don't even know what her real name is. She never shows her face. I mean, okay, she has a YouTube channel with what, 6 subscribers or something. What can I do with that? I'm not going to
You're
call you
also
out.
very, let me tell you something, Claire. You're very, well, this, okay, also it comes from my Jehovah's Witness mentality in that it's very different. Like, okay, with Jehovah's Witnesses, if someone was preaching to 6 people, we would be very happy with that. And like, and we would just know that, Jehovah's Witnesses know they're not going to like grow the fastest, but they do grow and they grow at a pace and okay, they might not be exploding, that's true, but since I was a child they've grown about 2 million. So let me think. I was a Jehovah's Witness. How old am I now? So I was a Jehovah's Witness, so that's about 1 million people convert to Jehovah's Witness every 10 years. Okay, every 10 years, 1 million people become Jehovah's Witnesses. So, I know to you that's probably not enough, but Jehovah's Witnesses have been around a while and they have more power than you do. And they go for quality, not quantity. And that's the same thing with the Noahide movement. It goes for, right now, it's going for quality, not quantity. Eventually, it's going to go for quantity once you got all the quality people in.
Yeah, I want the quality people in because I don't have all the time in the world. And for some reason, you're an atheist and you're taking your time. I just don't understand it. Why are you taking your time? You're no spring chicken, and nor am I. So why are we dragging our feet and
I'm
not?
not dragging my feet. I'm just not, I'm not, I'm taking, I'm purposely taking a slower route. Like you said, okay. Okay, well, I'm mixing it up. Okay, you're right. Let me tell you something. Even if I didn't read those books, people still would not be coming to this channel because everyone is accusing me of being a Jew because it's intellectual stuff. Okay, everyone's like, you're a Jew, you're a rabbi. Even on Facebook, they're like, yeah, they call me rabbi on Facebook. They don't want to listen to me because my presentation is Jewish. And
Is
and
Jewish? Well, I take that as a compliment.
well, not from them, it's not. And the reading just amplifies it because yeah, I mean like reading a book, like reading from a book that's kind of like a not just any book, but like, an intellectual book by a Jew. You know what I mean? Oh, he's reading Jews on his channel.
Yeah, yeah, and it triggers them. Good. I mean, at least you get your own identity and where you get your ideas
Yeah, but you're
from.
complaining that I'm not getting enough viewers, but I'm not gonna stop talking about intellectual stuff to get
I'm not
right-wing
asking you to
viewers.
do that. I'm just saying
I
that
know, but okay, the only reason okay, let's say I totally stopped reading, my views wouldn't skyrocket, because I would still be talking
I
about,
have
I
a
mean,
few ideas. That's why I wanted to talk to you about what we could be doing to accelerate this process. And then you'll say,
I
"Oh, but I
never,
don't
I
want to go that
accelerate
far."
your process. You want me to spread your ideas, but I have my own agenda. And
Yeah,
also,
yeah,
I
okay.
mean,
So your idea is no hidism, and that's why we're talking together because you say this, and yeah, it's better than just a monologue, right?
yes.
So, I mean, I assume that's the reason why we stream together. We want to talk about theology. We don't have to agree on anything, but at least we can exchange ideas and progress together. But now it seems that you don't want to go that fast, and you're not giving a good reason, as far as I'm concerned, about why you want to take the slow and scenic route.
Well, I kind of have to it because I kind of have to because nobody okay, I'm not going to do unless I'm talking about things that all okay, if you notice, I do not talk about what most white right wing men talk about. I don't okay, just as I don't want to hear them talk. I don't want to listen to them. They don't want to listen to me. Okay, I just have to deal with that. That's a
You
simple
were just on
fact.
that channel the other day.
What?
You were on that. You were on Norvin Hobbs's channel, weren't
Well,
you?
yes,
The other.
but Norvin Hobbs, yes, they sometimes they let me on their channel to like be a curiosity, but like for the most part, are they going to come to my channel and listen to Jewish material?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, yes, yes. If you stop
No,
doing
they're
things your way, yeah, I
no
mean, you
obvious
can talk
no,
about
they're
them. You can somehow include them instead of these boring readings that nobody really listens to and nobody cares about. And then then you
well,
say, "Oh yeah, but I don't want to go that quickly because you're not really an accelerationist."
no, I am an accelerationist, but I'm trying to accelerate something that's already slow moving. Okay, I'm okay in relative terms, I'm taking the Noahide movement to warp speed, but the Noahide movement is like a glacier. It
Okay,
wants
I know, and you want that because it's your idea, and you don't like secular Quranism because it's my idea.
no, that's not why, because secular Quranism is a genuine attempt to install conservatism. My attempt is not genuine. I don't want to be part of any genuine attempt for social conservatism.
But okay, so you say that, and everybody says, "Well, we'll just ignore everything Vincent says about the no-high laws." Then,
Well, okay, no, because do you know that if you saw I posted, there was this Hindu that I've known forever on Facebook, never met him in real life, didn't know where he lived, but I posted about the Noah. I've been posting against Hinduism and all this other kind of stuff, and I posted something about the Noahide laws, or whatever, and Hindus, and and he said, "Oh, don't forget about me," and I was like, "Are you?" I was like, "You're a Hindu living in the United States who's become a Noahide?" And he said, "Oh yes, you're creating us," is what he told me. So, you know, the what was the point that I was making? I don't know if the point that I was making that I'm
I don't
making
know what
Noahide.
the point of.
The point
Okay,
is
I
that
say
it's getting
you don't
somewhere.
make
Look,
sense.
if okay, so I've created so now okay, your thing with what's his name? And Alexander Nelson is that he left Noahidism. Well, now here's the second Noahide who's come forward to me and said that through my work, I've converted them to Noahidism. So I don't talk to Jerish. I don't know what he's like. He was a
They're just
Hindu.
crazy, stupid people, and there's something wrong with them. And
Okay, well, there's okay, well, my work,
if you think Muslims are stupid,
my point is to accelerate Noahidism, and I've created another Noahide, and I'm sure I've created other Noahides that haven't come to me and told me, "Oh, I became a Noahide by reading your work." But it's working. I mean, I've made more Noahides than you've made secular Quranists.
yeah, they don't have to agree with me on secular Quranism. The idea just needs to be propagated, and I think I'm doing
I
a
know, but
reasonable job of it.
you're like, oh, you're not being effective enough. I'm actually making converts to Noahidism, and you're not making converts to secular Quranism, and
They
I'm
wouldn't be
actually
converts. I just want
okay,
supporters.
I'm actually feeding off a real life movement that has real world power and real world converts, 500,000 of them right here, right now. I'm actually riding on the back of a movement that already exists while you're trying to start a whole brand new movement with no followers.
It's not a movement I'm starting. I basically, if I could just sort of, go to the emperor of America and present him with my idea, I would. But because nobody really knows who's pulling the strings from behind the scenes, I have to go round all the houses and talk to all these idiots who just don't get it or get frightened or I don't know. I'd rather not have to do that, but I will if I have to.
Well,
And I want to
well,
do it ASAP because I'm no spring chicken. I'm not doing this for fun. A lot of people
okay,
are
well,
doing this for fun. And I think
okay,
you're
well,
doing
I
it
think
for.
I'm going to be more successful because, yeah, my intellectualism is slowing me down. And that's like, yes, but that's what slows Jehovah's Witnesses down. Okay, most people don't want to sit and study deep biblical scripture and cross-referencing scripture and learning the history of scripture and most people don't want to do that much reading. They don't want to be that intellectual. So does that slow the Jehovah's Witness movement down? Yes, it does. If they were like the Catholic Church or some Unitarian Universalist and just gave quick Bible quotes and feel happy good messages, like would they be a lot bigger and growing a lot faster? Like, yeah, they would. But that's not what they want because that's not the type of power they want. And I don't want.
Jehovah's Witnesses are not going to get anywhere because they're not Trinitarians, and Trinitarians have been the top of the tree for all these centuries, and
Okay,
they're
but
not going
Jehovah's
to
Witnesses are
let
not.
you lot take
No,
over.
Jehovah's Witnesses are not going to get anywhere because they're not very smart about earthly power. They're retarded because everything is about the end coming tomorrow. So don't try to get earthly power. Don't vote. Don't become a president. Don't become a judge. Don't do anything. Don't make lots of money. They don't have, that's why they'll never have any power. Mormons have a much better. Mormons are much more successful because they focus on perfection and earthly perfection and money and beauty and family and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, they're dragged down by their ideology, but
So,
you
so
know,
Muslims are the happy medium, right? And they have worldly power. So you
they
might as well get
yes,
with the
but I
program.
don't. No, I don't want to do anything I don't want anything that's going to genuinely help conservatism. I don't want anything that's genuinely going to help conservatism. I have an agenda against conservatism, Claire. I'm an accelerationist because I don't want any kind of conservatism.
Yeah, but your plan doesn't quite make sense. I mean, I guess if you hated what all these religions represent, you would, well, I guess you would get into government and get it banned, get it all banned, I guess. And then you would have to campaign against the First Amendment and say, well, we can't have that. We have to ban anybody who disagrees with us about how to run things.
No,
Well,
no, I'm doing it the accelerationist way because nobody's going to learn until they've been through it. So it needs to like happen and then people will understand why it does need to be banned.
okay, nobody will learn what until they've been through what.
Nobody will learn that the Noahide laws need to be banned or fought against until they've been through the Noahide laws. Nobody's going to preemptively. No one's going to is going to say, "Oh well, we need to ban these laws before they come into place." They're only going to become banned once people have lived under them and understand how bad they are.
Okay, so when all this comes about, you're not even going to be alive.
No.
So what would be the point?
Okay, but I can see I can plant the seeds and watch them like start growing up above the ground. I'll never see the flowers, but I'll know that the flowers are coming and that I planted the seed. Look, lots of people started things and saw big movements in their life and tried to legalize something and they got close and they died before it was legalized, but they got, they realized it was on its way and they saw you know what I mean? Maybe they didn't see it get legalized or the change itself, but what about people who campaign to end slavery? Like, they made big moves in their lives. Like, should they just have never done it because they never got to see slavery banned in their lifetime? Should they have just like never even tried?
But what I think you're doing is that, all the things you're asking for has come to pass. It's already happening. It's already turning bad. And, you know, I just don't see the point. So if you want fame and recognition in your lifetime, um, it would be better if you did things my way, and then
No,
you would be more likely to get it.
no, I'd rather do something right. And look, you're gonna fizzle out and you're gonna get nowhere because you're low on like secular Quranism is low on intellectualism if for the sake of having a large um audience. You're like, yeah, you're reducing the intellectual rigor so that you have more people. But
No,
I do
because
that.
I want people to get what I'm saying
Well, I do that too
and
in
act
that.
on it.
Okay, but I do that too in a little bit different way in that I take the Noahide laws and I take Alan Cecil's approach and I say, well, don't worry about spirituality, don't worry about, any of this mysticism or anything that's confusing. Just there's the seven laws and they're really simple, and that's all you need to worry about. But um for those that are hungry for something more intellectual, I try to provide that not as mysticism, but as learning from the enemy. So yeah, I do focus on Judaism and I do focus.
Talking about Judaism, um, have you ever considered going on Jacob's channel?
Yes, I told you I emailed him and he didn't want me going on his channel. He wanted to come on mine, and then I emailed him and then he never got back to me.
Okay, but there's a channel called Randos United, and you could easily get on them. And he sort of controls it, but he has admins to do it for him.
Well,
So
well, send me the links. Like now, I told you my schedule.
I do, and you just ignore them.
No, I don't ignore them. I can't go on. But now that my schedule's changed, maybe I can go on.
Okay, okay. I'll give you the link because it's an associated channel, and they are organizing a spiritual homes conference in Chino, California, in the third weekend of May. Okay, I guess you won't want to go there, but because it's really Christian and Trinitarian, but um, there will be people there, and there will be people who are familiar with the characters that are that people, these channels that I'm talking about, and they can talk about, well, our thing. Well, I thought it was going to be our thing, but I mean, I don't know. I honestly can't work you out, Vincent. I
What do
mean,
you
if you
mean you
want
can't?
well,
I
okay,
can't. Well,
I
I
know
wouldn't go. No, no,
you give
I
your
wouldn't.
reasons, but they don't
I
make
wouldn't.
sense to me.
I wouldn't go to what's his name's. Now, first of all, I wouldn't spend money to go to a conference, especially a Christian conference. I mean, you know.
Yeah, and I wanted you to consider that, the kind of rules, the kind of censorship that they impose on the delegates, I suppose, and all the kind of crazy things they do and say, and I wanted to discuss it with you. And the best thing of getting ourselves noticed is to talk about these people on our channel and not do these endless readings that nobody cares about.
It's not endless readings. I read for about 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then we talk for like 20 minutes.
Okay, but I'm saying that the only way of getting notice is to get a group interested in us for whatever reason.
Okay, but if I'm talking about anything that, look, the only intellectualism they really are interested in listening to, if it's intellectualism, is Christian intellectualism, and I'm anti-Christian. And now that if I'm coming as an anti-Christian from, I mean, from a Noahide perspective, they don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? They're not going to want to listen to that. And I really don't have much they want. Look, okay, I'm done trying to get the dissident right as a group interested in me. I'm just going for
They are
individuals.
interested in you because you've just been on Marvin's channel and you were belle of the ball, and Martial Law sent you his book free. He won't even talk to me because he doesn't. You can get on with them. I put you in touch with them.
Well, I did.
So
Well, yes, I did. And what I just told you, if you put me, but okay, what I'm saying is that I'm never going to like explode like, Claire, you're acting like you're an explosion. Like, Claire, you're more popular than I am, but you're not like, uh, you're not like the grand dame of fucking YouTube or something like that, coming to me being like, look at all my success and the empire I've built, and you can be like me too. Like,
no, no, I'm trying to get bigger, and I'm just saying reading all these books is not helping, and I'm putting a few proposals to you, and you're getting all, I don't know,
well, no,
offended.
I'm not going to, no, I'm not going to start, look, look, uh, I don't have any, uh, Claire, I can't. I'm not gonna. I'm never gonna go at your opinion. Like, but even Jehovah's Witnesses would always bring up that. I mean, they would. We're not gonna. They would say, okay, we're not gonna grow that fast because it's a hard lifestyle. They always used to talk about that. Like, don't expect this religion to be. Like, don't be disappointed if people aren't running into the religion when you go teaching it. Like, don't get your hopes up that if you go out and preach this religion, everyone and their
So
mother is
why are
going to
you
want to.
talking like an?
Hello? Wait, you broke up. What?
I don't think you do either because your explanations are incoherent.
No, they're not incoherent.
Vincent.
They're not incoherent. You just don't like the answer. I mean, I'm not expecting my movement to like grow at lightning speed.
Yeah, but don't you want it to grow faster?
Well, it is growing faster than it was before I started becoming an accelerationist.
Vincent, I think you just want to be the only fish in your little pond. I
I
think
do.
that's it.
I don't want to be part of a genuine movement to restore conservatism, Claire. I don't want anything to do with that.
Okay, so what you're doing is you oppose me and my objectives, but we can keep talking about it, right? But we can talk
Yes.
about it in a more entertaining way, and and I'm
No,
putting
but
forth.
I no, but reading these books is important to me, and I don't care if not a lot of people want to hear it. I do get at least around. I don't care if I get. you know, 20 views. At least, I'd rather, I'd rather I'd rather get out what I want to get out and talk about what I want to talk about than talk about something I don't want to talk about. I
What
don't
don't you want to talk about? Well, I mean, I
I
just
don't
want
want
to
to. I
talk
don't want
about.
to talk about I don't want to talk about Paul Vanderklay because yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk about Christianity well, I mean, I want to talk about it in that yes, it's idolatry. We read the Noahide Code by Alan Cecil, which was in a whole attack on Christianity. I don't mind talking about Christianity in that way, but I don't want to talk about it in. I don't want to debate. I don't. These people are fucking idiots for the most part. I mean, I'll go
Yes,
in there.
yes, and that's why they're easy to manage. And I'm trying to explain to you that there's a world out there beyond your readings that could help us. And then when I say that, you say, "Oh, I don't want to go any faster than how I am with my one viewer."
I, I'm not expecting to go fast, but look, I've converted more people to Noahidism than you've converted to secular Quranism. So you have absolutely no right to talk to me about speed or accomplishment or getting somewhere.
Okay, well, I haven't been able to speak to a single any of you. Okay, Alexander Nestle doesn't matter.
Okay, well, I could just, I'll give you Jerish. I'll give you his name. He's a Noahide now.
But the point is that the non-entities and mentally ill
Well,
non-entities.
excuse me, you don't know that they're mentally ill. And number two,
Oh,
they're
they're stupid.
okay, well, then you're never going to get anywhere if you think every convert who isn't a rock star is a non-entity. Like, if you think
I think
that,
John Voight is a non-entity because he's stupid and he can't argue any of
okay,
these.
yeah, I know. Well, nobody except for, the president of the United States to you is going to be a non-entity, and you're really not going to get anywhere if you treat your converts like non-entities and think that lowly of them.
I always treat them nicely, but if they're going
No,
to
but
be
if you don't,
unreasonable,
if you, all you care about is power and fame, and I mean, care about power and fame, but not like at the expense of sacrificing like quality and or just being stupid. I mean, a convert is a convert, and like just because somebody's not,
your audio
famous,
is not very good.
just because somebody isn't famous just because somebody isn't famous doesn't mean that they're pointless.
I don't say they're pointless, but I'm saying they're not suitable as far as I'm concerned, and I want to move as quickly as possible. What is
Okay,
wrong with that?
okay, well, I would rather have one convert than no converts.
But you're not even sincerely converting them.
Well, I'm sincerely converting them for my accelerationist plan, and that's sincere. My desire to convert them for accelerationism is sincere.
Uh, okay, I know that I'm talking to people who are mostly mentally ill, who don't really make much sense, and I have to be very patient with them. But I'm trying to include you in on this video of me where they spend about 2 hours talking about me on Jacob's channel, and I think you might find it funny and want to join in on the fun. Well, that was really what I was trying to say, more or
Well,
less.
yes, if you send me the stream and I'm available, I told you I am come on, and I
Okay, I'm
do
just
come.
saying you. Okay, they come on, at all kinds of hours, so it doesn't. You can't really judge it, but you can still post in the comments. I'm saying, and I think Jacob would have you on as long as you're prepared to turn the camera on.
Yeah, well, I
And he's a
am.
drama queen, and you might you might enjoy it because it's
What
been particularly dramatic lately.
Okay, Claire, but yes, but Claire, just as these men, 95% of them know they don't want to listen to my streams, they don't even bother because they already know they don't want to listen to it.
So
I
you
don't
have to
bother.
go to them.
that I do. When you send me their links, I go on.
Okay,
I
okay.
go on, but I'm not going to sit there and listen to jokes and long. They're very they don't get to the point. It's like it, it's not like, look, when I watch YouTube, I like factual kind of like, yeah, academic intellectual stuff. I
I am
don't.
slumming it. I know I am slumming it. I know. Okay? You're not the only one slumming it. I'm slumming it, doing what I'm doing. And I'm saying, Vincent, would you like to stop slumming it? Vincent, would you like
I'm not
a radio
slumming
show?
it. Okay, I'm not slumming it. I'm the one that has to move slowly because I'm aiming for a higher audience, and I'm not like looking to convert the slums. You know what I mean? Like,
Come on. Vincent, I know I'm talking to most people. A lot of people I know just have a few screws loose, right? They don't know what they're doing. They're doing it for attention. Maybe it's a bit of self therapy when they, just do whatever they do on YouTube. They just need to let it out. And then they even delete their streams because they're ashamed. It's like, this old fashioned advice, you're upset about something, write down your problems on a piece of paper and then tear it up and you'll feel better. It's that kind of thing, maybe.
you're just uh, Claire. You're trying to get me to do things that
That are good for you,
no
that will
that
lead you to success and recognition.
that I would want to support or to get involved in ideas that I would want absolutely nothing to do with, and to listen to people I hate listening to, and that's just not going to. I'm not going to like bring myself pain and suffering by listening to an hour of one of these, one of these people, because like I said,
You
when
you
you
you join, right? I mean, you
when you
join and you say your thing.
well,
Okay,
when I joined, yeah, I say my thing, and so the conversation. But if I'm not talking with them, the stuff that they talk about doesn't really interest me. You know what I mean? Or more so the way they talk about it, and their whole, the pace at which they talk about it, and yeah, no, it's
well,
very
you have
hard
to
to listen.
respect what they're talking about in order for them to listen to you. So if they're talking about subject A, you have to, make a contribution to the discussion of subject A and not, just join them and start talking about subject X, right? I mean, and then they might, listen to you on other matters. I mean, that's how it's done on these channels, right? Because if
Yes.
you just want to go on about your thing, then I guess you just talk on your channel and nobody will interrupt you, but then nobody will listen either.
Well, I do talk about gay stuff when I go on there, whenever, because that's always what they want to talk about when I come on. So I do talk about gay stuff and that kind of stuff. I look, Claire, I'm not going to do more than when you send me the link. Come on. I mean, I don't know what you expect me to do with something I have no interest
I
in.
want you to see the potential for yourself about
I
these
come
channels.
on whenever you send me the link, and I cannot do more than that, Claire.
I understand, but I'm talking about the Vartarecci people, right?
Yes,
And,
well,
and,
send me
and
the links and I'll come on.
yes, yes, and I do, but sometimes, well, the one I'm talking about today, was finished before I started to view it, and I'm saying it's important um, because well, I guess they're really upset with me. But I mean, talking about me for well, psychoanalyzing me for 2 hours and basically defaming me for 2 hours is well, I guess um, not an everyday occurrence. And I think the animosity is is particularly well expressed by a particular woman um, is interesting because she's clearly a Trinitarian, and the interesting thing is that Jacob denies the Trinity too. I found him searching for Michael Servetus, who was this um, Spanish theologian and doctor burnt at the stake for denying the Trinity by John Calvin. That was how I found Jacob, really. And Jacob is one of the satellites of this pastor who's a Calvinist, who is organizing this spiritual homes conference in Chino, California. And I thought it would be great if we could get them to discuss our ideas.
Well,
And I,
you've been on his channel. I mean, yeah, I mean, yes, I could go like if I got on his channel and I could debate him, or I could bring it up, or I could criticize Christianity from the no hype perspective. Yes, I'll do it. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you besides the fact that I'll go on and talk to these people.
okay, okay. Um, I mean, I've been doing it for months, so I thought, well, maybe you could be subscribed to it. Not even okay, because you got some problem with YouTube and you don't
Yeah,
know.
yes, my thing. Yes, I can't subscribe to stuff, so just it's pointless.
Yeah, and you have Twitter, but you don't like using it because that would be the other way of doing it. So we're kind of limited, really.
I'll get on Twitter. I'll get the fuck on Twitter. I have a Twitter account. I should make another one.
Yeah, because I think we're kind of different people on different social media platforms because the way for communicating is different anyway. So, why I enjoy it. I think it's fun, but obviously, I want to get somewhere. I want to get somewhere
No,
before
I
I
know.
die. I don't want to hang around and just not get anywhere. And I
Right.
think that there is. I mean, we can make progress because people are getting. Well, I think. Okay, I think these people are mentally ill. I thought the Wignats were bad, but these middle class educated graduates are really take the biscuit because there's so many things they don't want to discuss, they can't discuss, and they get all triggered and they want somebody to protect them from hurting each other's feelings. And, they want nanny. And, well, there is this woman called Shari, and she really hates me, but I think she's just trying to protect the Trinity. But then Jacob actually denies the Trinity. He himself denies the Trinity. But he wants to sort of do it in a, nice way. And these Christians, well, they really listen to him because he pays for all these channels. StreamYard has some sort of group membership thing. Did you know that?
No.
Do you have the free version of StreamYard or you pay for it?
No, I pay for it.
Well, I think you can give associate membership or something, right? Because this is what John Gishler was doing. He gave me his free membership so I could stream to my heart's content on StreamYard. Uh, and he's sharing his thing with what's his name? John Paul von Helton or something. So, so there's a sort of group of associated channels that, you can influence by giving them free stuff. I mean, this is how political patronage works.
Um,
But
well,
okay,
Claire, I think um
I know
I
you want
mean
to go at your own.
look, I'll go on the shows whenever you send me the link, and that's That's all I'm gonna promise. And
Okay, okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. Um, and I think you would make quite an impact, really. I mean, if you go on Paul Vander Clay's channels, I mean, he's pretty open.
yeah. Okay, I don't know if you want to go. I'm gonna read. It's the last chapter. It's we're gonna.
I'll stay. I'm happy to stay.
Okay. There's little more to be said. Okay, so this quote, is there any hope? Or this chapter, is there any hope? There's little more to be said. I would only like to set down before concluding a few considerations which might help to clarify the issue between us. For I cannot believe that the contest between our two ways of life will come to an end within measurable time. And I cannot believe that while the contest continues, I will ever be lifted to purely spiritual levels. I will not confound eschatology with daily experience. If I if ever the dream of the prophet should come true, if ever men should live at peace with each other, expressing their antagonism without enmity, why they will no longer be men, but another species, and talk of Jew and Gentile will be as irrelevant then as might have been 20,000 years ago. The world is getting better, no doubt, but the improvement is not to be measured in generations or centuries, and what will come to pass 10,000 years from now does not concern me in connection with this problem. Certainly, I have no patience with those who bid us wait dumbly for the apotheosis of mankind, as though the millennium were around the corner, as though every year registered a perceptible and even considerable improvement. If ever within the span of one generation mankind could suffer visible improvement, it should have been now within the generation with which witnessed the war. But only the fool and the professional optimist will assert that our way of life today, our utterances, our emotions, our ambitions are at all clearer than they were 10 years ago when the war started. The same handful of sensitive men and women struggle hopelessly against the passions of humanity, the same ugliness and meaningness, the same selfishness and lying, the same lust for bloody adventure, the same delight in physical triumph, the same willful self deception and abuse of lovely phrases have us enthralled. The race is still to be swift, and the battle to the strong, and the goal and the tries are what they were 10 years ago. What I say then is not prompted by the hope that words of mine or of anyone else can give a new complexion of the general struggle between Jew and Gentile, but only by the desire to clarify, for the encouragement of a few, the nature of this struggle, convincing them, perhaps, that behind the sordid stupidity which seems to govern our Jew Gentile relationship, there may be found a compensating grain of eternal principle, and my concluding words are addressed less to practical expectations than to the desire for completeness. What are we Jews prepared to give you, which, in my opinion, you should consider sufficient? Obedience to the laws of the state and readiness to defend it, even if against our inmost beliefs in time of danger. This constitutes a full payment for the privilege of citizenship and the protection of the laws. But this offer in the part of the Jew becomes inadequate when the state begins to assume function which seems to me totally beyond its capacity. What was intended beyond for the regulation of external actions of a given group is becoming a growing tyranny against the inmost values of man and attempted violation of our most inaccessible privileges. And this despite the professional professions of your statesmen and political thinkers. It is acknowledged in principle that a man's religion is beyond the reach of law, and his God neither pay tax nor take out citizenship papers. But the acknowledgement of this principle has gradually become meaningless, perhaps even having any perhaps it never had any meaning, in the light of the growing spiritual tyranny of the state. Perhaps nothing that you have ever feared from the economic tyranny of socialism approaches the oppressive spiritual tyranny of your great democracies. These seek to control not only the acts but the emotions of the individual. They would compel us to love and hate, to admire and despise as part of our civic duty, and not content with that part of us which alone affects the well being of government, would also conquer and control that part of us which belongs to no one but to each man and God. They would control our culture as though culture were controllable except for the purpose of destruction, tell us in which language to create as though they could fructi- fructify us and direct our ecstasies as though these were run along wires and commanded by switches. Our obedience, our tribute, our bodies will not do. They would have the very secrets of the heart torn out of us and believed to Washington or Berlin or London. In the terror of socialism, they depict the intolerable misery of man who can claim nothing for himself, but must yield up the fruit of his labor, down to the last husk, to the disposition of the state. But they have instituted a spiritual socialism infinitely more hideous, and for economic quality, they have substituted a spiritual homogeneity which the communists can never hope to parallel in the physical field. Human Woe to him who dares to practice private initiative in the spiritual socialist state. His punishment is not only spiritual but physical too, and we Jews, the most obedient and most enduring sinners, in this respect, are the best measures of the vindictive fury with which this tyranny is armed. Okay, hold on 1 second. I want to take a break. So basically, he's saying um, that nothing's progressed, that there's no progression, which I don't know if that's true. I mean,
So he's saying there's no progression for anyone. What's he saying?
I think he's saying that there's no progression in, the Jewish Gentile question. I mean, well, he
What
wasn't,
constitute progression?
well, a change in the Gentiles in that maybe for once the Gentiles actually get how to deal with the Jews rather than just being angry with them and then flying off the handle and attacking them, like how to actually deal with them in a more intellectual way. God
Well,
sake,
it's the Jews
Claire.
not telling the Gentiles about that, about their idolatry. It's a continuing problem, and they won't do it because of the hidden idolatry.
Well,
And Muslims also suffer from it too.
it's happening now with the No-Hide movement, so they are telling them that they're idol worshippers, so it's happening.
Yeah, but they have nobody authoritative who is perceived to be an intellectual leader of no-hidism. And
Well,
I just don't see
well,
it happening.
maybe there won't be, but who's the intellectual leader of Islam? There is none. There's no leader of Islam, intellectual pope of Islam.
Yeah, nobody has that. I agree. Well spotted, Vincent. Nobody has a leader. Nobody is accountable. Everybody is doing their own thing and saying all kinds of things in the name of their religion, and nobody tells them off, and nobody even reacts. That is a problem. Well spotted, Vincent.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying that, but those movements that don't have those leaders still get somewhere. Islam is still getting somewhere.
Yeah, but they don't, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, so they're not getting the whole benefit of their religion. And the whole idea is really to stick to your principles and do what your principles say you must do, and then you will succeed and, get what you want. I mean, that's the whole point of having principles, right?
Yeah.
And basically, I mean, okay, if you don't have a religion, then nobody can say, oh, you're being unprincipled because, it's like, well, I just do whatever I like and can get away with it. There's no law against me lying. There's no law against me not keeping my promises. It's not against the law what I do. But what if your laws are bad? I mean, yeah, what can you do if your laws are bad? What can Americans do if their laws are bad? They have no religion. It's not like Americans can go to, whoever and say, well, actually, this law that Congress passed, it's wrong. It's immoral. It's against the religion of our nation. You guys can't do that because you haven't got an official religion. And I'm saying that's your problem, and you won't talk about it. Nobody will talk about it. You're all crazy, and you're just happy to be crazy. It's like, yeah, that's how I've always been. Whatever. Well, it's true.
Well, Claire,
We've been crazy and stupid for 250 years. Who are you to tell us what to do? Yeah, yeah, I can hear you saying all that. We don't need no official religion. We're very happy with our one of pursuing happiness. That's what you guys do, but you don't seem to be pursuing it very well.
well, we seem to pursue it better than everyone else does, so
Well, I think the axe is going to come down soon.
well, it won't come down if well, it wouldn't come down if people got creative, but
Okay, they would have to get creative in an organized way, and you're also disorganized. I mean, there's no leader. Everybody just does whatever the hell they want. How are you going to get anything done? I mean, the British say, oh, he's somebody who couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery. We're getting like that now, aren't we? I mean, the whole of the West.
okay, let me keep reading.
Okay.
If then the struggle between us is ever to be lifted beyond the physical, your democracies will have to alter their demands for racial, spiritual, and cultural homogeneity within the state. Interesting, okay. But it would be foolish to regard this as a possibility, for the tendency of this civilization is in the opposite direction. There is a steady approach toward the identification of government with race instead of with the political state. And since this is largely beyond your conscious control, it is perhaps as foolish as it is futile to accept a change. The best thing, the best fighting unit is a nation which is homogeneous in blood and emotions, no less than in political allegiance. And since the chief function of the state is to fight, witness the proportion of your state spent in payment and in preparation for war, you will inevitably demand the subordination of all human function to the end. The demand for racial homogeneity within the state has led in America, still the most unexploited country in the world, to the exclusion of the immigrant, particularly the immigrant who will not lend himself to the type of assimilation or self-destruction which you demand, without for a moment admitted that any kind of exclusion is justifiable in a world which God created before the nations appears to disfigure it. I submit the case of the Jew as an exception. The Jew has no homeland of his own. When the Jew migrates from one country to another, it is almost invariably under the pressure of persecution. To close the gate against the Jew is not the same then as closing it against the Italian or the Pole. In the latter case, you insist that certain races stay in their own homes, whether or not the land will support them. But the Jew is not being forced to stay at home. While one part of the Gentile would persecute him, the other part refuses him a chance to escape. For every shame, if you were capable of it, you should give the Jew free immigration everywhere. The irony of it is, of course, that it is chiefly against the Jew that anti-immigration laws are passed here in America, as in England and Germany, and the liberal countries which could make room for the hunted Jew cooperate despite a few gallant and unsustained gestures with the most illiberal in the persecution of their common victim. He then refuses asylum to a victim fleeing from a murderer from a murderer is before God a free and willing accomplice in the crime. And to me it is infinitely strange that even from your point of view, the sporting point of view, you should be able to reconcile your morality with your acts. If there is anything at all in your profession, you should be filled with admiration and astonishment at the incredible pluckiness of a small people which, in the face of infinite discouragement, has clung with such tenacity to its identity and cult. Without understanding us at all, you might have paid the homage of warriors to the courage of an unconquerable enemy, that you watch us with vicious irritation rather than with respect, that you load us with it constant that you load us with contumely when so much in your own instinct should have given us a peculiar place in your regard, makes me feel that nothing which can be urged upon your conscience will avail to lighten the burden of your destiny. We have just witnessed in America the repetition in the peculiar form adapted to this country of the evil farce to which the experience of many centuries has not yet quite accustomed us. If America had any meaning at all, it lay in the peculiar attempt to rise above the trend of present civilization, the identification of race with state. In the old world, the evil had taken root in the course of centuries. Its hideous root was therefore inevitable. But America seemed to offer the hope of a change of whatever other evils America had inherited, at least this one she had avoided. America was therefore the new world in this vital respect, that the state was purely an ideal and nationality was identical only with acceptance of the ideal. But it seems now that the entire point of view was a mistaken one, that America was incapable of rising above her origins, and the semblance of an ideal nationalism was only a stage in the proper development of the universal Gentile spirit. The ideal which for a time consummated American nationality disappears now, and in its place emerges again with atavistic certainty the race. It is true that even while the ideal flourished triumphant over the race, the seeds of our enmity lay securely embedded in our natures, but the passing generosity kept the seeds in slumber. It is not the first time that Gentile nations, forgetting themselves for a brief period, have offered us friendship and even affection. But the strange and unnatural exaltation passed and the bitter sobriety succeeded. Today, the race triumphant over ideal anti-Semitism uncovers its fangs, and to the heartless refusal to the most and to the heartless refusal of the most elementary human right, the right of asylum, is added cowardly insult. We are not only excluded, but we are told in the unmistakable language of the immigrant laws that we are inferior people. Without the moral courage to stand up squarely to its evil instincts, the country prepares itself through its journalists by a long drought of vilification of the Jew, and when sufficiently inspired by the popular and scientific potions committed the act. How then shall I delude myself into the belief that the consideration covered in this chapter will produce any effect? How we Jews not know this evil long enough? Should we not should we not have known better by this time than to repose hope in any of the nations? Perhaps we were foolish in our overconfidence, but our credulous but our credulousness does us less dishonor than our cruelty does you. And it savors again and if it savors again a foolish simplicity to make the plea to you, I'm willing to take the risk. Okay, and so here it's less than a page long. It's the last chapter, a last word. It would have been a happier task for me if I had been able to write this book with sincerity in another tone, if I had been able to record a struggle of two ideals and types which was never comprised and obscured by physical lust and cruelties, but rather than utter the old, untruthful courtesies, tempering resentment with caution and tact, it would have been better not to write at all, and I was driven to write. I believe that though I may have erred here and there, I have been mainly right, and I console myself with the thought that if this book offends by its assertiveness, God knows that the infinite tactfulness of the thousands of other Jews seems to have offended no other. Whatever we do, we are damned, and I would rather be damned standing up than lying down. Well, that was very pessimistic at the end.
Well, yes, but I mean, the solution is so simple, isn't it? It's like, these Jews, they must go. I wonder, why do we suffer? Why does everybody hate us? Why hasn't the Messiah come? I mean, what are they thinking of? It's like, oh, but if you're God's chosen people, what do you think God chose you to do? Oh, we don't think about that, do they? It's all we're just here to be pretty and be admired by Gentiles, really?
Okay. Um, yeah.
People think they're so clever, but actually, they don't know what they're doing, do they? I mean, it's just this Gentile thing. Oh, these Jews are so wonderful. They're so high above us, and we're always, forever victims. And it's like, actually, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. And I'm trying to explain it to them, and what they're going to do is, oh, who are you to tell us what to do? We've been around for nearly 6,000 years. Who are you to tell us what to do? As you can imagine,
And then we'll go for lunch, okay? Yeah. Um, so, okay, well, I guess I won't have you on anymore for the reading stuff.
oh, you don't need to do the reading. We need to talk, Vincent. We need to talk,
It's
and you need to.
we talk
No, no,
tons.
no, no, no. I know, but I want you to view that video, and then we can talk about it. How about that? Why can't we do things? I've been sitting through hours of your readings. You can just watch this very entertaining video on Faturecci's channel, and we can talk about it next time we speak, and it'll be fun, and you'll enjoy it, and more people will come to your channel.
Well,
What's wrong with that?
we can watch it next time. I'm waiting for, I have to wait until my new credit card comes in, and then I have to get Kabbalah and Freemasonry. And
Okay.
so I have to take a while, but you obviously don't want to read Kabbalah and Freemasonry. So,
What's the point? It's like, okay, I have this theory about Freemasons. I'm saying that the whole purpose of Freemasonry is to gather the Abrahamic religions together under one roof where its members are supposed to be, well, full of fraternal love for each other. And when it is safe, the Jews and Muslims will gang up and admonish the Christians for their idolatry when they feel safe enough to do that. And I'm saying that's the whole purpose of it. All those centuries ago, that's what they were created for. And yes, there will be so many competing theories about the Freemasons. But okay, well that's my theory. And things are coming to a head. And well, we want to be surfers catching our wave. And I don't know what you're doing, Vincent. If you're agnostic, then you're closer to being atheist, and therefore I assume you want to be. Well, I think everybody wants to be on the side of the good guys, don't they?
yes.
And I'm saying you could be on the side of the good guys too.
Oh, you're not the good guys, Claire,
Why not? Why not?
because you're not the good guys.
Why not? I'm just reminding all these people what their religion tells them to do, and these people don't want to be reminded, and they're using the fact that I'm not Jewish to tell me to go away, and the Christians and Muslims are doing the same thing too. But I'm theologically the most knowledgeable person in the whole wide world. Next to you, well, and you're just, well, I mean, you have a lot of knowledge, but you're not really using it to best advantage to make your political points. And I'm saying, you and me together, Vincent, we could make a better point than just me doing it on my own. Oh, and this is just gossip. Um, Duvid is starting his own week in review tonight, and well, you could go on it if you want. If you have a week to review, I'll be on it.
You're gonna be on what?
Do Vid's week in review on his channel because he apparently Jen can't do it on Sundays, and the kind of week in review is going over to Do Vid's.
Oh, okay. Are they fighting or no?
Well, they were kind of fighting. I mean, you could hear Jen being drunk. With this, when somebody's drinking and pouring, and I don't know, it was quite funny. But um, I mean, part of the fun of listening to we can review on Church of Entropy is to hear them fighting like an old couple. But anyway, we can review. Duva tells me is going to be on his channel, and he's going to have guests, and he's more agreeable than Jen, who fights with everyone. And I can send people his way and build a community.
Well, okay. Well, I'll try to see you there. I'll try to catch you there. I don't know if he's gonna want me on his channel. I don't know. I
I
haven't really
asked him,
been
and he
around.
said yes. I asked him, and he said yes.
Oh. Hmm.
But I mean, obviously, it has to be,
Well, I don't
sensible.
mind talking to him about Hinduism now, and that now that I'm against it. You should all be happy that I have a new topic to talk about.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We are. I mean, we are, developing and responding to new, stimuli and ideas, and that's what it should be, and sort of, tie it in with current affairs, and you know,
Hmm. Well,
so I might see you there later.
okay. Oh, yes, because today is Sunday.
Hmm. And
Yes,
you
you might see me there later.
that would be good. And you're going to have lunch soon.
Yes, I'm gonna have lunch soon. My husband is making me food right now.
Hmm.
So what I'll do is, okay, you might want to come on for the next few. We can do the Athanasian Creed.
Yes.
We can do the farewell speech of George Washington. We can watch your show. We can do a few things, but then I'm gonna do my reading. I'm gonna get into Freemasonry and Kabbalah, and and then you can just not be part of that.
Well, I certainly want to be around when you read the Athanasian Creed.
Well, no, I will for yeah, exactly. You can come on. So we'll do a few more shows, but then when I get into the books again,
Hmm.
you might want to come on for the crescent and the compass though.
What's that about? Oh, the Freemason things. Is it?
With with Islam, Freemason and Islam.
Yes, that's one. Yes, the crescent and the compass. Yes, you
Yes.
ordered the book, didn't you?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Hmm.
No, I
Cool.
have to wait. I need my new credit card to come in and then I need to place an order for it. So it's going to be a while before I'm reading that.
Well, we have lots to do in the meantime, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, let me go. I'm going to go make it short today.
Okay. Thanks for having me.
Sure.